My heart defibrillator is back working correctly. How are you doing, Grizz?
Man, I'm recovering, slowly recovering, but I think that took about like 3.7 years off my life, that game.
Yeah. And I think you were telling me earlier that I thought at one time that we were actually going to lose that game, the first time this season, because I thought we were going to beat New England until the bottom fell out.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when they scored that touchdown and went up 27-14, that was kind of like the moment it really dawned on me that, God, we're going to lose this game. I mean, up until that point, I couldn't believe that we were going to lose.
Yeah, same here. All right, we're gonna briefly talk about the offense and then spend the rest of the show talking about the defense. You okay with that?
That sounds good to me.
All right. Now, I said the play of, and I included one more person, the play of four guys really impressed me. Romo, Witten, MB3, and T.O. And the reason why I included T.O. is we do not realize how much of a help having T.O. On that field was, because he took so much coverage away for Romo to be able to do everything he wanted to do with Witten and all those guys.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice when they showed replays maybe 2 or 3 times in that game where you would watch Owens and it was at least double coverage. Sometimes it would be triple coverage.
Yeah.
And because of that, Wade, talked about it in the press conference today. They were running that Tampa 2. You either got to utilize your running backs on the outside underneath or utilize your tight end in the hole in the middle. And we just went back and forth while they were so concentrated on T.O. And what's the best thing about it all? Afterwards, T.O. didn't complain one bit. He said, I know what my role was that day, and I played it.
Because we could not force the ball in there to T.O. to make a turnover, because a turnover would have killed us. One interception by Tony Romo would have killed us. So it was so great that we took what was given to us, and we moved the ball. Now,
well, that it was important because Romo said he learned from the Buffalo game where he was trying to force those things in there, and this time he didn't try to do it. And but the funny thing is, either way, Romo still comes up the winner. I don't get it. That guy is so good.
Yeah. The way he came out in the end, and you know what? That during the game, I was thinking that Witten fumble, it was kind of a blessing in disguise. Because if we had scored that and went up 28-27 with, 4 minutes left to go on the clock, they would have ate the clock up, walked down the field, and kicked the field goal and won 30-28. It would have been over.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that point of view once the game is over, but when he fumbled at that moment,
me too.
Oh, man,
Pulling the hair. All right, now I'm going to switch over to the other side of the ball. And like we've said before, sometimes when we're at 3rd and 10, I feel like we're going to get those first downs. Yesterday, when Detroit was at 3rd and 10, I felt like we couldn't stop them every single time.
Yeah, we had a lot of problems. I mean, they did do some different things in this game. Obviously, they changed up a little bit with Roy Williams. My boy, what's his name?
Calvin.
He looked pretty good on some of those plays. He was working over Newman on some of those double moves and then coming back for the catches. So, we definitely struggled. But the big part was we couldn't get pressure on Kitna. I mean, he could sit back in that pocket and wait for double moves to happen and then throw the ball when the receiver makes his break. I mean, that's just way too much time. He was setting up in 7-step drops and then, hitting whoever he needed to hit. We just could not get to him.
Yeah, and it was the success of their running game, which I kind of fault the coaches, because you can't look at the previous game with the Vikings, because you must be an idiot if you're going to run into the defense, all right? We're not the Vikings defense. We don't have 2 Wookiees right there in the middle of our D. So we're stupid if we thought that they were only going to run the ball one time, against us or something like that, what they did against the Vikings.
Well, apparently we're stupid, because Wade went out in his press conference and basically said, we didn't, I kind of thought they might do it, but I didn't practice our D on it and all of this kind of stuff.
You can tell.
I didn't really like hearing that to some extent.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems – the way Wade talked in his press conference today was almost like he got out-coached by Mike Morris, in terms of the game. And you don't like to hear that. But watching the game, too, the players, I mean, we were not executing. Usually those middle linebackers fill those gaps every time. They were not doing that. They were either missing on their angles or they were getting blocked off the ball. We were slanting hard to one side, and then the running back would just cut right off our backside against the grain, and boom, right through the whole open area, no linebackers to be found. I mean, all the way around, we were bad on the run.
Yeah, it was like we were just so unsure of whether we should protect the pass or stop the run or whatever. And most of the game, until the very last series, we could never pin our ears back and go after Kitna, in which we finally got to on that last one, which was good. But all I want to say is Marcus Trufant had 3 interceptions yesterday. I'm just saying.
You had to go there, did you? You had to go there.
What do you think? Huh?
You know, off of that line of thinking, you know, maybe we just fired up that Lions team more than we fired up ourselves with all the yapping this week.
Exactly. And that's what I said. And they had the whole week to say, you know, oh, these boys think they're going to come in here and just beat us down, you know, because of some stuff Kidna said. You just can't say anything. And I think we needed to learn a lesson from the New England Patriots when, what's his name, Anthony Smith, was talking trash. They just said, and went out there and destroyed that guy. They went after that guy the whole game and destroyed him. So that's what we need to do. We need to stop talking. That was a lesson that I learned, a lesson that we learned. No more talking. If somebody says something that's on him, don't give them something, you know, to rally around. And that's exactly what we did. Yeah,
man. I thought it was all fun and good throughout the week. I was like, yeah, the Cowboys are getting fired up. They're ready to just you know, go out and show that they're the Titans of the NFC and no one can mess with them. You know, I thought they really were going to do that. Boy, they did just the opposite, so I'm with you. No more talking. Everybody shut up and just go play the game.
We got caught up in that whole hoopla. On that DP Fanatic show, we had a lot of fun. I emailed, I said, yo, we had way too much fun on that podcast.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd never been so wrong about a game in my life. I was like, a Lions – physical? They're not physical. They stink. Yeah. We'll run right over them. They'll never control us at the line of scrimmage. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, Grizz is an idiot. Dumb call.
All right, but the good point is we came out there with a victory. We're 12-1. We're gonna have another fight next week with Philly. I don't know what we're gonna get out of that, but I guess the only time I ever see NFL teams like quit is this time of the season. Sometimes they'll play for a quarter and they'll just quit if they don't have anything to play for. Philadelphia still has something to play for, but I don't know about Carolina. And Washington's going to give us a game that last game no matter what.
Well, the good thing for us is the way things are lining up, each of these games are going to mean a little something. I mean, last week meant making the playoffs. This week meant winning the NFC East. Next week means getting that bye for the first week. And then possibly the week after that, depending on what Green Bay does, it will be for home field advantage all the way through. Right. So we got these little goals right out in front of us.
Right. And then we can let Noodle Arm Brad Johnson play that last game against the Redskins.
Yeah, the Redskins can have, you know, all the fun they want at that point.
All right, man. We'll be back Friday, talk about the Eagles, and hopefully we'll have your boy Terry Glenn back.
Oh, yeah, man. Get a little TNT action on the outside. I'm liking it.
Exactly. All right, man. We'll see you Friday.
Peace.